Okay, I'll call to order the meeting of Monday, November 25th. Ask all who have not signed in, please do so. Please turn off all cell phones and other electronic devices, and please conduct any private conversations in the hallway or outside. This meeting room is equipped with the inductive loop hearing assistance system. Be able to hear conversations through the microphones on hearing aids with a T-switch, and emergency exits can be found to your right and to your left. This meeting is also live streamed with YouTube via text commenting. This time, you're pleased to join the town board and salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
First of all, I wish to declare Councilman Condon necessarily absent this evening. We have 6 employees celebrating birthdays in the month of December. And I'd like to name them off, starting with Nick Bodine on December the 1st. Brian Emelson on the 15th. Keith Maynard on the 27th. On the 30th, it's the trifecta. Mitchell Page, Stephen Bell, and Jose Lopez on the 30th. The December 9th town board meeting will be to pay the bills, and that'll start at 8 a.m. here in the main meeting room, followed by a solar workshop presented by members of the Solar Task Force. The next town board meeting in person is Monday, December 16th. It's a quick turnaround with only 1 week between meetings. That's certainly so we can get meetings in prior to the holiday season. On the agenda for the 16th meeting will be a public hearing for solar with a condensed presentation by the Solar Task Force. All town departments will close early on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and all departments will be closed on Wednesday, December 25th for Christmas and Wednesday, January the 1st for New Year's. As of this morning, there had been 1,300 individuals signed up for the turkey trot. So it'll be I forewarned the mayor a few minutes ago. That'll be very busy here in the village. And then I want to wish everyone here, those on YouTube watching it live or streaming in eventually, Thanksgiving wishes to everyone and their families. At this time, we have a public hearing for Restore New York, and I ask the town clerk if she'd please read the public hearing notice.
The Town of Victor has scheduled a public hearing for November 25th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at 85 East Main Street, Victor, New York. The purpose of the hearing is to obtain citizens' views and comments relative to the submission of an application to Empire State Development for financial assistance under the Restore New York Communities Initiative. This project includes the rehabilitation and build-out of the 90,000 square feet vacant buildings located at 700 Eastview Mall Drive, Town of Victor, Ontario County. Written comments may also be directed to the Victor Town Clerk on or before noon on Monday, November 25th.
Thank you, Karen. So as we had to advertise for this, we set a public hearing for this evening. The town no longer needs to continue with the Restore New York application. The state notified the town last week that they support our efforts on this parcel, and funding will be arranged and announced in the future. So there is no moving forward with this. We open the public hearing, and at this time I ask the town board members for motion to close the public hearing. Feel free.
Thank you. I had, first off, a question. Has there been a town board vote that we would take possession of that property?
So as always, in any public hearing, whether it's this one or that, it's a matter of, it's not a Q&A. It's just stating information for the record, building a record.
Okay. Then my understanding there has been no vote, so I'm just going to speak, I guess. As far as the whole process and taking over part of the mall, There's a big change in the economy that I don't know if a lot of people have thought of. I don't know if you've got a lot of feedback from the entire community about whether or not we even want to do the eminent domain takeover. But that is part of, I think, what should be talked about even before putting forth a grant. I guess we've got the funding already without doing the grant. But as far as that's concerned, there are also other major priorities that I think, being a village resident, that have been overlooked. For instance, there's a big senior living facility that is being built over on School Street. And there's talk about possibly building something else to help with them to be able to have the things that they might want to have more frequently. I don't know the specifics on it, but what I would say is for a long time I've noticed, and I think we had Railside Market. Part of the problem with Railside Market, number one, it was not in the village like what was the plan in the revitalization.
Now, I'm gonna interrupt you. So the public hearing, if we were having the public hearing, we opened it for Restore
Yes.
New York.
Okay,
Your comments are very well, okay, but they should be under public concern.
okay, well then, the blight, I think the highway department is a blight. The money should be better spent there. The sidewalks all the way up to, where is Mead Square Pharmacy, to the benefit the people that are handicapped and stuff. Maybe this is not the appropriate spot, but it sure seems like it is, because that's what the Restore, I just got done looking online what the Restore New York proposal was all about. And it was supposed to be about revitalizing and especially identifying blighted areas. I guess the mall could be considered blighted, but I live in the village, and I'm very concerned that we have more and more dark spaces. Now, I know you've told me very politely that I'm kind of out of order. I appreciate your time.
And the only thing I would comment as far as the blighted, and if you're looking for some things in the village, I would ask your village government to apply for a Restore New York grant. Again, board members, motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, approval of minutes. These would be the October 28th Town Board meeting minutes. Comments or questions?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then moving to the November 12th pay bills only meeting. Looking for a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And at this time, we'll ask the clerk to introduce manifest number 22.
Manifest number 22 in the amount of $288,498.73 has been reviewed by the Victor Town Board with the following accounts charged: General Townwide, General Outside Village, Highway Townwide, the lighting districts of Fishers, Brookwood Meadows, High Point, Cobblestone, Coyle Ridge, Rolling Meadows, Stone Lay, and Legacy at the Fairways, S&S Consolidated Sewer Fund, and Trust and Agency.
Thank you, Karen. And by the way, welcome back. We'll start with the, again, these are expenditures that are in the range of or exceed $5,000. Payment number one to Barclay Damon, October attorney fees. Number two to Bluestone Creek for the December rent and insurance for Parks and Recreation. Bucks Fabricating for recycling center container. Harris Beach, October attorney fees. Hometown Energy, October fuel purchases. Payment to Labella Associates. There are chargebacks to developers within this invoice. Payment to NVP Healthcare, December Healthcare. Noco Energy, diesel fuel purchased in the month of October. Payment to RG&E for October townwide utilities for the lighting districts, and payment to Van Bortle Ford for a van for Parks and Recreation. Total of the above-mentioned expenditures is $228,779.49. Total town expenditures minus the previously mentioned expenditures equals $59,719.24. Any questions on this abstract number 22?
Moved.
Second. All All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public comments and concerns. Opportunity for members of the public to comment to the board members.
So it's hard to find out what's going on in a meeting, what's going to be discussed, and then a lot of things, a lot of times for a resident like me, a vote goes through before I even know it. In this instance, I probably partially because I was so involved with what was going on with village government, I wasn't aware that we were going to be going for a grant. One of my arguments would have been that just like the library, they put forth a grant and made the library build out the centerpiece for a grant application. And of course, I guess we're going to get the money anyway, but that was a mistake because it was a waste of money because the voters never voted it through. And so I don't know if we're putting the cart before the horse. My understanding is there's an appeal, and we might not even be taking ownership of that property. So we're going to have the money approved for something that we might not have when we have actionable items like the highway department. I know that's in the village, but it's also in the town. And the sidewalks I was talking about are partially in the village, but also going to Railside Market, or I guess it's Mead Square Pharmacy and Kaleidoscope. But the idea of making our sidewalks safer and more navigable for especially older people. A lot of people that get older can't drive their cars anymore, but they can get around in wheelchairs, and I could see motorized wheelchairs possibly going to Mead Square Pharmacy. I want to see things where the town and the village are working together on things that relate to the revitalization that was centerpiece to Local Development Corporation's initial mission, and build it out from there. This is the heart of the town, and I know that some of the money could be, requested from the village, but a cooperation in terms of planning and thinking about things like what I just brought up that seem to me to be common sense, that I just get very frustrated with government processes in general, because I can't really be involved. If you want volunteerism in this town, you need to treat volunteers better. And one of the ways is accessibility and accountability when it comes to how this government runs. And I have personally, by getting involved, found out that there isn't as much as there should be. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other members of the public care to address the town board? Board members, you should have received reports of town officials, report from the Economic Development, Finance, IT, Parks and Recreation, Planning and Building, and Highway. Any questions or comments on any of those 6 reports?
I just wanted to say kudos to Susie for asking the Board of Elections about the early voting hours so that the planning board didn't have to move their meeting. I know that was a big concern for them this past year, so not even if the board won't let us change it, thank you for asking, because planning board does not want extra long meetings. And I think between Keith, myself, and Councilman Cusimano right now is the liaison, we can tell them that we've tried.
Thank you. Okay, board members, care to report on any of the boards you may sit on or liaison to?
Sure. I attended the village board meeting this past Monday, and they just applied actually for a Ag and Markets grant for a new, I'll call it pavilion, but almost like a garage that'll be hopefully built in where the island is right now in their parking lot in the middle. It's mostly to benefit their, the farmer's market. And it's similar to what, I don't know if anyone's ever been to the farmer's market in Canandaigua or seen that pavilion there, kind of in the back of, I think behind Simply Crepes, those buildings there. It's like a covered, they are proposing something very similar, but with doors that come down, some more amenities for vendors in the public to use. So they applied, I think, as of Friday, and best of luck to them.
Very good. Very good, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, a couple items. Senator Hellman co-sponsored bill out of the Senate 4124. This is to increase the amount of money a public retirement system retiree may earn in a position of public service from the current $35,000. She's looking to, with again, it's co-sponsored, looking to increase it by $15,000 up to $50,000. And the reason I have some interest is because we do have a code enforcement officer who falls under this as well, and kind of get maxed out every year at that $35,000. So I have reached out to the Association of Towns. They share with me that this is a priority for them, and they will be presenting it to the Resolution Committee in December. On Friday the 15th, November 15th, Ontario County and the town of Victor hosted a Inter-County Association of Western New York at Kettle Ridge, and I know Councilwoman Olgra and I were able to attend. I was representing the town, and I had an opportunity to really talk about our town, because many people always think of Victor, or they know Victor, and they think of the mall only, but not all the other nice things we had. So I talked about certainly, because many people don't understand that we also have a village. I mentioned the village with a population of about 2,200. Our total town population about 16,500. I talked about the dog park, 70 miles of hiking trails, school district, two fire districts. So I just gave them a snapshot. And I know Councilwoman Olgra, representing Assemblyman Gallahan's office, also spoke. And I had an opportunity to introduce her as well. So this is a inter-county. Again, it's made up of 19 counties from Erie and Niagara all the way our way. So it was a nice opportunity, again, to showcase Kettle Ridge, which is certainly growing. They talked about purchasing some land recently on Route 31 down by in the Egypt area of 31. So they're going to have, again, trails very similar to what they have here, but they're going to include horseback riding as well. And we received a letter, I put it in your baskets earlier on the 18th. We have a letter from the New York State Division of Housing and Community Renewal regarding the pro-housing community, and I certainly want to recognize Keith Maynard and the Building and Planning Department. They really helped us immensely with that application, and I want to support this town board as well. So that's all I have on that. Moving to this evening's resolutions. Start with resolution number 1. This is a annual resolution, what we do. And again, this is the Town of Victor wages for 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 2 is the accepting of the donation from the for community pops, bands, and chorus.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we want to thank UBS Financial Services for their $600 donation. All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 3, intermunicipal agreement regarding the cooperation to comply with the federal Phase 2 stormwater regulations in Ontario and Wayne County. This would be the inclusion of the town of Canandaigua.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Number 4 is the 2025 intermunicipal agreement with Ontario County Sheriff's Office for court security.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And number 5 is the Ontario, again, 2025 intermunicipal agreement, Ontario County Sheriff's Office for the enhanced law enforcement services throughout the town.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
2025 agreement with the Victor Farmington Voluntary Ambulance Corps. For our contract with them, we did increase that by $37,500 for 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And number 7, approval of acquisition of easement by the Monroe County Water Authority. This is anytime the authority needs the ability to access land, they have to go through this process with the jurisdiction.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And number 8, transferring the unpaid town and village sewer amounts to Ontario County. It's a tax pass. It's unfortunate that $95,828 has to be collected from town residents that did not pay, and the village $4,866.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And number 9, the 2025 Ontario County Municipal Agreement for Dog Control Services. Motion to approve?
Move.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And next, public comments. Another opportunity for members of the public to address the town board.
Hi, Randy Shea, in case you didn't know, 50 West Main Street, Victor, New York. This is on a more positive note, at least I hope. I basically spent a lot of time in research looking at things related to, because it's part of my business, Be Found Website Services. And I had great success early on. I still have some really satisfied clients. It was never my intention, though, to sit in front of a computer all day, but that's part of why I'm not doing it as much as I could be, probably, and be more successful. But coming back to this is that I focus on how to get people found on first page in Google and Bing and other things. Not only that, but building a website that may not have as much pizzazz and flash as some, but get results. People who have businesses want to have people come to the website. If they have too much information, it's not good. It's always an actionable item in many places where people take the action that the client wants. Now, I'm giving you some background because I know what I'm doing when it comes to web developing. I saw a major problem, not minor, major problem with what you find when you do searches for things in Victor, New York. Now, I can't control Google, I can't control Bing, I can't control Yelp, I can't control all these different places that you'll find information. But when you go there, one of the biggest problems was that the town website comes up, number one for tourism, but the website itself does not have a comprehensive list of attractions. It has some, but in terms of attractions, I'm talking about churches, I'm talking about everything. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to fill this gap in a very positive way. No one was doing it, and I started up DestinationVictorNY.com. My wife is helping me with it as a small business owner. I was looking forward to having the cooperation and support of the development office. I got the opposite, and I'm not happy about that. I actually believe that some of the ideas that I've been putting forward in terms of making Victor a destination, not so much for the fact that we have a lake or a canal or an amusement park, but because we have a whole bunch of smaller, unique businesses that collectively make this a great place. Not just that, but also the schools, the churches, where we live, the parks, the trails. That has not been being done. On the Discover Victor New York page, I couldn't even figure out who owned the page. The communications were coming direct to Gina Coe in the development office. I still got sort of stonewalled. I still can't officially say I know the answer to that, who owns that page, but the town absolutely should. For a long time, for most of this year, up until October, they were saying that they're their one-stop shop for all events in Victor, New York. I could give you the full quote, exactly what it said. I've screenshotted it. I've showed it to some of the people that are here. But false advertising is a bad thing, and that was false advertising because they only showed a few select events. They did not show Parks and Rec events very often. Once in a while, you might see something, the calendar or something, but they were not, there's events at churches, there's events for the Victor hiking trails, they didn't share those. That page, if it was a business page, I would have thought to turn it into the State Attorney General for the fact that it was so misrepresented in terms of what it was supposed to be doing. Now, I want to tell you, Discover Victor New York has been going for a couple of years now. You got enough money and labor put forward to something, you could make a dead horse walk. But it was actually considered a dead project as of this year. It was revived somewhat by the development office, but basically the person that was running it didn't have time to do it. It never took off. It was a failed attempt at branding. And basically, I thought, well, you know what? And so here I am. I am trying to be positive here. I wasn't going to say any of this stuff. I was just going to go ahead and build my business. But if I've got the development office now working against me, taking a lot of my ideas, using them and doing them, I shut down before I even get started. And I don't think that's right. I don't know if you know, I have an understanding of republicanism, and I know most of you are Republican.
Mr. Shea, you know there's a 3-minute limit on the public comment. You've
I was
reached that 3-minute mark.
I was expecting the attorney to cut me off.
I'm not cutting you off, I'm reminding you there's a 3-minute.
Right, and sometimes you give them more time. You gonna give me more
I
time?
would suggest maybe wrap it up.
Okay, wrap it up. All right. So, I'll wrap it up in saying this, that a development office, if you're a Republican, I'll say this, Republicanism is to me this. If you want a sport to be popular, you're going to have rules, you're going to have refs, and then you're going to have the teams compete. You're not going to have the refs deciding who the winners and losers are. And in my opinion, right now, to a large extent, I can show you a lot of examples where I believe that that is what's happening, and I don't think there's enough accessibility or oversight. I've been doing a lot of research. I'd love to talk to somebody who would actually follow through, but there are some problems with how that's being run, and that's my opinion. I'll leave it at that, even if I'm the minority. I've been watching, and I've been paying attention, and I really have been trying to be positive and productive in this community, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out.
Thank you for your comments. Any other public comments? Need a motion to go into executive session under rule number 3, the proposed acquisition, sale, lease, property when publicity might affect the value.
Second.
Like the town board members, town attorney, and finance director Rich O'Donnell, and our town clerk to join me.
We have to vote.
You have a motion? You have a second? Yes.